All right, let's take you straight across to Brisbane, to the Town Hall, where the Prime Minister is headed for another engagement. Prime Minister Modi will be addressing the Indian diaspora right here at the Town Hall in a very short while from now.
Thank you, Usha and Jason, for your stirring renditions of the Indian and Australian national anthems. I'm now pleased to introduce songwoman Maruchi Baramba of the Turrbal people, who will perform a welcome to country, followed by a traditional cultural performance by the Nunukul Yagara Aboriginal dance troupe.
Jabin Kiruka Bulkari Marumba Mianjanu as welcome to Brisbane. In the language of that Turrbal people, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Prime Minister Modi here today. Also, thank you, Lord Mayor Graham, as well as Premier Campbell Newman. When we do Welcome to Country, that is done as blessing and gathering and song. I will do that in a very tinchy while. I just would like to say one single thing about the modern day Turrbal people. We were actually descended of a convict, and he became a free man in 1837, and he was actually from Trichinopoli in South India. So I'll do the blessing of the gathering. Manda barista, Muriana man. Manda barista, Muriana man. Bisogari asai, Gabakari buja, Manda barista. Muriana men, Manda barista, Muriana men, Ngado payava, Nidin yung anala, Manda barista, Muriana men. Manda barista, Muriana man. Garin yinanami tuchumobironu. Garin yinanami, Garin yinanami tuchumobironu. Yo, nanya mamlaya, nanya malaga. Yo, why?
Welcome.
Thank you, Songwoman Maruchi and Nunukul Yagara, for your wonderful performances. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to invite the Nadananjali School of Dance to perform a traditional Indian dance called Ganesh Vandanam, invoking the blessings of Lord Ganesh.
Ganapathi
Thank you, Nadananjali Dance Group, for that wonderful performance. It is now my great pleasure to introduce your co-host for today's reception. Please make welcome the Right Honourable Lord Mayor of Brisbane, Councillor Graham Quirk.
Our traditional custodians, I pay my respects to elders past and present. To Prime Minister Narendra Modi, welcome to you, sir, to the City of Brisbane. I want to acknowledge the presence of His Excellency, the Governor of Queensland, the Honourable Paul de Jersey AC, and to his wife Kay. I want to acknowledge the presence of Campbell Newman, the Premier of Queensland, to His Excellency Mr Biren Nanda, the High Commissioner of India, and Mrs Nanda, to all of our distinguished ministers and members of Parliament and councillors that are gathered here, distinguished members of the Indian community and the broader Brisbane community, ladies and gentlemen, welcome one and all. Mr Modi, we are very grateful that you are here in our G20, one which has been conducted in a city where peace, peaceful assembly, the rights of democracy have been exercised, but it is a G20 which has seen no violence, and for that we are very, very grateful indeed. We have just come from the unveiling of a statue of the great Mahatma Gandhi, and unveiling that statue, I said to the Prime Minister and to the crowd earlier how proud Mahatma Gandhi would be to have seen the G20 conducted in the way that it was in the streets of this city. The fact that there was peaceful assembly, the fact that there was the right for democracy to be exercised, but that it was done in a peaceful way. And he would have been a very proud man to have seen the G20 conducted in the way that it was. Mr Modi, can I say to you that the people of this city, Indian people throughout the world, but most particularly people within India itself, see you as the man for which they rest their hope, their destiny and their aspirations upon. That is a great responsibility that you carry. And while it is a great responsibility you carry, you know that you carry that responsibility having won the unprecedented support of Indian people in recent decades in that nation. And so as a city, we want to simply wish you well. We have a wonderful relationship with your city of Hyderabad in India. It is an unusual relationship.
All right, that what you're seeing on your screens right now is Brisbane's Town Hall, and you have on stage Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Queensland Premier Campbell Newman and Brisbane's Mayor Graham Quirk as well. We will be hearing out what the Prime Minister has to say in a very short while from now, but TV Today's managing editor Rahul Kaval, who's present at that event, is now with me right now from Brisbane. Rahul, two things very clear, the Prime Minister has not only been successful in raising the black money issue in a very big way in Australia, but also he's managed to successfully keep all the journalists on their toes. His itinerary is packed.
Yeah, and what's worse is that there are no taxis because of the G20. So this has been a G20 boot camp for all journalists who've been tracking the Prime Minister. If he gets into a fancy cavalcade that moves really fast, we need to walk with heavy equipment from one part to the other. But that being said, I think the Prime Minister made a very significant intervention on G20 this morning. The primary goal of other G20 countries were to find ways of creating new jobs and boosting the global gross domestic product. That was the primary objective towards which Tony Abbott was pushing. Black money wasn't really on the agenda. By putting it front and center, Prime Minister Modi managed to get a clause inserted into the final declaration that's being issued at the end of the G20, which talks about setting up a working group which will push towards three things. Those three things are very significant. First and foremost, greater transparency in tax law. So no special agreements, no special provisions for particular companies. The second is that there must be greater standardization, uniformity in global tax law, which means that countries like, say, Luxembourg, where the tax rates are virtually zero, will not be allowed to get away by having such low tax rates, because then a lot of the profits get repatriated into countries like Luxembourg, because no one's really okay. I'm just told that Prime Minister Modi is going to speak next, so we will continue talking about this, Sana. But for a moment, let me tell you, till the time the PM starts speaking, there's a huge reception here. Everybody's got their iPhones out. They're all taking these pictures, and now let's just hear the PM, and we'll begin our conversation immediately.
Absolutely.
After that. He's just a little bit tired. He's had a long couple of days. He's pulling out his speech, but he's got some points. Let's listen to the Prime Minister.